Rambling Men Sports Podcast. As always, it is James and Shane coming at you. James, how you doing today? How's quarantine?
Just got done working from home, and it sucks, dude. It's so nice out today. Beautiful day here in Baltimore.
Yep. You're letting the beard grow out. I think you might be going crazy.
Why?
Just the beard's growing out. I think you're going a little insane.
Quarantine beard, baby. Not shaving until we can go back outside. Yep, not shaving.
You've talked about you just talked about how you had to put a hat on because hair is getting nuts.
Oh my god, dude, long as shit. And I got curly hair, so It just grows up. It doesn't grow. Yeah,
same with me. Mine doesn't grow down. Mine grows out.
Yeah, we have pretty similar hair. Yeah, so you know how that goes. So I'm honestly thinking about just shaving my head because by the time it I can actually get a haircut, it'll be pretty much grown out again. So.
I talked about this with you, but my mom just cut my hair, and she was so scared. Like she barely, honestly, didn't take much off except the sides, and I was like, Mom, just keep going. You know, worst case scenario, we'll just buzz it all off. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, seriously.
So what we're going to do today is a mock draft. We got some notes here. We got some big boards here to look at. But we're going to do a mock draft. We're going to do an improvisation. So we're doing this on the spot. This hasn't been planned. We're going to go back and forth. James, you elected to do the odd-numbered picks, and I elected to do the even-numbered picks. So let's go ahead and start with you. Number one pick, Cincinnati Bengals. Go ahead.
Hold on. So I want to make a clarification really quick before we even get started. I'm gonna pick what I would do, not what I think the team's gonna do.
Okay, that's good.
Because honestly, some of these teams are stupid and things like that, and I just want to clarify that. So number one, Joe Burrow. That's pretty much. I would say not even the number two pick is set in stone. Even though a lot of people, I'm not going to ruin it for you because you're about to do it. But Joe Burrow is pretty much the only pick set in stone in this whole draft. So that one's pretty easy.
Yeah, so not very surprising, obviously. I think we're both expecting Joe Burrow to go number one. When I do mock drafts, and I'm taking notes here so that we don't use the same player twice and look like idiots. But my philosophy when it comes to mock draft, whenever I do a mock draft like on my blog, is I always kind of do a mix. What I think is what the team will do and what I think they should do. So sometimes it is a little bit, I will go ahead and put that out there. I do sometimes predict what I think the team will do based on their previous history.
And I would also say most of the time it's going to be the same thing, but in some cases, like I'll say for number three, I'll have a perfect example when we get to that. So, there'll be a perfect example where I think the Lions are going to do something, but I obviously would not do it whatsoever. So,
all right, so
we'll get there in a sec.
Yeah, right up next, second pick of the draft, Washington Redskins. There's been some chatter that they could take a quarterback. I'm still not buying it. Although I think that you really want to fuck up the board. Washington takes a quarterback right here, and I don't really think it's out of the question. They could pull in Arizona where they drafted Josh Rosen. 2 years ago, then they drafted Kyler Murray the next year. I could see that happening.
I could too. Absolutely.
Because they don't seem sold on Dwayne Haskins. I don't think it's going to happen, and they don't really need him, but Chase Young, best player on the board. Yep. I think that's the pick here. I don't know about you.
Agreed. Agreed. Like I said, the first two are pretty much set in stone. Obviously, like you said, it's not a 0% chance the Redskins take a quarterback, but I think it's like 5%. I really do think they're going to at least try to give, Haskins a little bit of time here. So number three, I see a lot of people, and I think this is honestly what the Lions will do and go Jeff Okudah because he's probably one of the best players in the draft at corner. But I'm going Tua. Number three to the Lions. Yeah, and I'm trading Matthew.
I had already written Okudah.
Nope. And that's the perfect example of what I was saying earlier. I do think the Lions, but you know what? If you're the Lions, you need to get a new player that you can get something of value for Matt Stafford. Absolutely, you can at least get like a second round pick, and I honestly think you could get a first for. I think the Patriots would give up a first or something for Matt Stafford in 2 seconds. So. We'll see. But if I'm the Detroit Lions at number three, I'm taking Tua. I'm getting whatever I can for a lot of these players. I'm starting a complete new rebuild. I'm firing Matt Patricia at the end of the year because he's just not it. I don't care what he does this year. But I'm taking Tua at number three if I'm the Lions GM.
Wow. What's the reasoning for that?
Because, what has Matt Stafford ever done, dude? They're paying him a shitload of money. It's like, dude, You're not going to win a Super Bowl with Matt Stafford at this point. It is 100% certain. I'm not even blaming it on Matt Stafford, but if you can get that salary out of the building, because what's he making? $30 million, $29 million a year. Dude, you get that out of the building. You pay Tua, $6-7 million for the next 4 years, 5 years if you exercise the option. Don't pay him early, and you can really get a good team around him. And that's exactly what I'm doing. No question in my head that I would take him.
Holy crap!
Especially in a dome.
I don't think he's a good fit for Detroit, but he might be able to perform well in that dome.
No, I agree. I definitely don't think that's the best fit, but I think he's the best QB on the board at this point. And if I'm the Lions, I'm taking the QB. Absolutely, they're one of the worst teams in the league. Matt Stafford's a good player, but he's not getting it done. And if you can get a decent GM in there, and you can get a good young quarterback, usually you can have a playoff team because you can just go pick up good players in free agency because you got the money to spend and things like that. I mean, that's why a lot of these young, teams with the QB still on the rookie contract end up being really, really good teams. And I think that the, Lions should do that at this point. They don't have anything to lose. They're a basement team every year.
Yeah.
Why not?
Fair point. I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily out of the question. I think that they are about a year away from that philosophy.
And I also think that there's a very high chance, probably just as high of a chance that they draft Okudah, that they trade this pick for one of these QB hungry teams that are trying to get ahead of the Chargers and the Panthers. And so I could see like the Panthers maybe doing that or something like that.
One team I've seen, we can talk about it later, but one team that I've seen kind of get some buzz about trading up is the Raiders. I don't know if that'll happen, but they got 2 first-round picks.
Could easily see that.
3 third-round picks.
There's a lot of teams that could realistically do that. So I like that.
So number 4. Now you've opened up the board a little bit. I was worried this was going to be boring, but
Nope.
you just shook everything up.
Yeah.
So number 4, you just gave me one of the best players in the draft to fall in my lap here at number 4 for the Giants. And if this happens, like Dave Gettleman should have this ready to go. Like it shouldn't even be a thought. And that's
Absolutely.
Jeff Okudah.
Agreed.
He's the best corner in this draft by far. It's a need. It fills a need for the Giants. If they get him, that's Okudah. You got DeAndre Baker, Jabril Peppers. You talk about now a secondary that could potentially be pretty good down the line. So
Agreed.
I think that's an easy pick.
Agreed. All right. So.
Also, we're not doing trades, correct? We should have mentioned that.
No, yeah, we're not doing trades because that would have been. Okay.
I hate predicting trades. It's stupid.
I'm gonna say for the Miami Dolphins, I mean, I really do think that they have to go QB here as well. Unfortunately, they could go offensive line, but I really, really don't think they do, and I think that they take Justin Herbert here.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's impossible.
No, not at all.
We'll see. I mean, if that happens, I'm not that crazy about Herbert. I just don't know. I'm not that crazy about him.
Yeah.
If that happens,
I'm not that crazy about him either.
The Dolphins have accumulated these picks, and I don't know. I feel like they're really set on Tua, but if he is gone, like we have him at this point, yeah.
Exactly. Or I could see them easily going Jordan Love if they want to go really high ceiling player right there instead of Justin Herbert. But I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to be my pick. I really do think they have to go QB there, regardless if Tua's there or not. So that'll be my pick there.
All right. So now this leaves me with the Chargers. The Chargers. They probably should take a quarterback, but they do have Tyrod Taylor. The top 3 guys are off the board. I don't see them reaching for Jordan Love right now. I wouldn't reach for him with the 6th pick. So, again, BPA, Isaiah Simmons.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not great against the run. I know that because they're usually really good. They have a really good pass defense with, Bosa and Ingram and things like that. They have a nice safety patrolling back there with Derwin James, so that I could definitely see them needing a nice linebacker.
They could use a linebacker. I don't know. I think Denzel Perryman's a free agent and hasn't been signed, or they re-signed him but for cheap. But they could use a guy like him with his skill set, and they're in the middle of their defense. So yeah, best player available. Worst case scenario, just take the top down the board.
Absolutely, and that's funny because I was going to put Isaiah Simmons to the Panthers because I really
that's the way I've done it for my mock drafts.
They would absolutely love to get a linebacker to replace Luke Kuechly. But I hate to do this, dude. I feel like I'm being an asshole by using all the quarterbacks up, but I do genuinely think they're going to take a quarterback. So Jordan Love.
Damn, you are eat up at the quarterbacks.
I'm telling you, they're all going to go in the top 8 or 9 picks. I'm telling you, the top 4 are going. I bet you. We had this.
I know. We always do.
Now. It's different now, dude. Like they're going to take the top, guys in the very early parts of the draft for sure.
I know. I will say that we always have this argument. You always say there's going to be 4 quarterbacks taken in the top 10, and I always laugh at you. I'm like, no, there's not. It started 2 years ago when we started this podcast, and it happened. Last year, I don't think it did happen, but I think maybe more quarterbacks went in the top 15 probably than we thought. I don't remember how it shook down, but yeah, we always have this conversation. I wouldn't be shocked at this point, but I'm not sure I see that reach. But Arizona Cardinals are up next. They just got DeAndre Hopkins, so I think that they can hold off taking another wide receiver if they want to take another wide receiver. So I think Kyler Murray, you got something special with him. I think the next best thing you got to do is to beef up the offensive line, and it varies, but which offensive lineman you want to take. I think Jedrick Wills is the top one in this class from Alabama, offensive tackle. Beef up the O-line, keep Kyler Murray upright.
No, absolutely, I agree. I agree 100%. I think that's a good pick. I think any of the top tackles would definitely be a pick there. Like you said, I think Jerry Jeudy had a shot there, but I don't see it happening now. Obviously since they grabbed Nuck. So the Jaguars, I actually think this is a perfect pick for them. They definitely need some help on the interior defensive line, so I think they're going to take Javon Kinlaw at 9. I think he fell to him. I definitely think there's a chance that he could go higher than that, depending on how the QBs fall. If QBs don't end up going as high as I predicted him to go, I think he might go even a little bit higher than that, but that's where I'll put him right now at 9.
No, I could see that. I've seen a lot of people not necessarily mock him this high, but say that he's better than Derek Brown. Or at least has a higher ceiling than Derek Brown. Yeah. I haven't really watched much of his tape. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised at all. Especially now that they lost Calais Campbell. I feel like that's very likely to happen.
I completely agree.
So now we go to the Cleveland Browns. Again, same thing with the Arizona Cardinals. They got plenty of weapons, but you got to protect Baker Mayfield. He was running for his life last year. Beef up the offensive line. With Wills off the board, I think the next best tackle is probably... Hang on, let me find it.
Wirfs, right?
Yeah, Tristan Wirfs, thank you.
Yep, that's honestly exactly who I would have, also put there. I think Becton could possibly be a higher ceiling player because of how athletic he is, but he'll come off here very, very soon. So
and worst case scenario with Wirfs, like he's so versatile. You just shove him inside. I mean,
exactly. So this is the thing here. I really, really want to go. I really, really, really want to go Mekhi Becton here to the Jets, but I think that they don't have, even though they did just get Joe Douglas as their GM,
who I do like,
but I think that if I was them, like this is what I would do because I think it's smarter to try to keep Sam Darnold upright. I'd take Mekhi Becton at tackle.
No, I really like that position. I think that's going to be the pick.
Yeah, I hope so.
Assuming the board falls this way, or how I think it could potentially fall,
the
Jets are going to be primed to take an offensive tackle with this pick, and I think that's going to be the pick. I know a lot of people like, saying Jerry Jeudy is going to go there, but I think it's going to be a tackle.
Absolutely.
Especially after they weren't very active in free agency trying to get one of the free agent offensive linemen. So number 12, Las Vegas Raiders. The new Las Vegas Raiders, I should say.
Love that.
The pick is easy here. I'm still shocked he fell this far, but I think Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver. They need one. They didn't really sign anyone in free agency. I think that's the easy pick right here.
I've heard him compared to a slightly bigger Antonio Brown. I heard that he plays very, very similarly, very smooth in all aspects.
You can't go wrong with any of these top wide receivers.
I think that's a really good pick. Now, 13, I think this is a chance that Philly trades up to this spot to try to get Ruggs. But, what's San Francisco going to do? They might go. You know what they're going to do? They're going to try to replace our guy that went to the Colts,
DeForest Buckner?
DeForest Buckner with Derek Brown.
Wow.
Okay. I do think there's a very high chance they get, CeeDee Lamb or
that's what
Ruggs there.
Doing.
But I'm going to do what I would do there.
Okay.
And that's what I do there. Genuinely. That's actually what I would do there.
Okay. I thought for a while that they might do that as well in the first round. They got 2 first-round picks now since trading Buckner. That they might use one of those picks to, worst case scenario, get best BPA and take one of the top defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows if they will, because they got so many good defensive linemen over there in San Francisco. All right, so Tampa Bay, you just signed Tom Brady. Your offensive line's not that good. Again, not to be boring, but I feel like the pick here is an offensive lineman. You got to protect Brady. I feel like.
Agreed. Now, I don't think there's any shot in hell that it's not the best tackle available.
Unless all of them are gone. I mean.
Yeah, but and that could be a chance. I heard that there's supposed to be like a really strong tackle run in the draft where a lot of them are going to come off very close together.
But the pick is Andrew Thomas out of Georgia.
Okay, yeah, I like that pick. So the Broncos, I think the smart pick here would be Ruggs, but I think they're going to go CeeDee Lamb. So I'm going to go. I think it's going to be a wide receiver.
You got to get
at 15.
Drew Lock some help.
Agreed.
So you're going to go CeeDee Lamb?
Yep.
Okay. CeeDee Lamb. All right. So Atlanta Falcons. Lamb's off the board. Best player right now on the board is probably Ruggs, but they don't really need him. I say they just lost or got rid of who's the guy that went to the Lions? Desmond Trufant.
Mm-hmm.
Very good possibility. I think that they draft his replacement right here. They need help in the back end of their defense, so I'm going to go corner C.J. Henderson.
Okay, I actually like that pick. Okay. So if it's the Cowboys, I know that they would really want to go corner, but I think they're going to take C.J. Henderson probably here. If the Falcons just took him, I think they're going to get Henry Ruggs, unfortunately, and that would absolutely shatter my heart. But that's what I would do if he's there and I were them. That's who I'd pick.
Yeah, because it just gives you someone else. You talked for a while. I know you have about how Dallas doesn't have the weapons everyone thinks they do. They're not very deep, and they got one wide receiver. They had one tight end. You need more help.
Yeah, they do. And I think Michael Gallup's good, but I definitely think that they could be a better
I think Ruggs will be a better pro than Michael Gallup.
Agreed.
So the Miami Dolphins again. You had them taking a quarterback. Ruggs is off the board. Let me see here. Now we're getting to the point where we got to think about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Wirfs is off the board. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go. And I recently just did this mock, but I'm gonna go running back DeAndre Swift.
Ooh.
You know that they could do offensive line, but there's not really one to take at this point. But they were the worst rushing team last year. I think their leading rusher was Ryan fucking Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they did just sign Jordan Howard, but Jordan Howard, I think his legs are kind of gone. Hasn't quite been the same. I'm going to go DeAndre Swift, and I think he's going to be a really good player.
I actually like that pick. All right.
Yeah, got to fix up the run game.
The Las Vegas Raiders here, I was really tempted to go McKinney or Delpit as at safety, but I'm going to go the edge rusher out of LSU, Clavon Chasen. I think that's how you say his name.
Either way, you can't have too many pass rushers.
Yeah, and I think that they're still really looking for that, and they really just need defense very, very badly. So I definitely think that there's a chance this could be a quarterback because, if Jordan Love falls or something like that, because I don't think we haven't drafted him yet.
Yeah, you drafted him to the Panthers.
I did. Okay, cool. All right,
I wouldn't be shocked if they doubled down on wide receiver. I don't know if they will.
I don't know in the first round just because they do have too many defensive needs. But dude, if they like two guys that much and think it'll really help, they might.
All right. So Jacksonville Jaguars, they really need to find a replacement for Jalen Ramsey. Problem is, there's only about 2 corners
that are worth it.
Yeah, that are worth it in the first round. So I'm gonna say they're not gonna take a corner here. I think again, Jacksonville's made a killing the last few years of just taking best player on the board, and I'm gonna do that and take Patrick Queen.
I like that. I like that pick. Damn, I like that pick. Okay. All right, so we're to my Philadelphia Eagles here, and unfortunately, all the receivers off the board are gone. Which all the good ones. I don't want Justin Jefferson here first round. I really don't. Man,
come on, man! I passed on him with Jacksonville so that you could take him.
I mean, honestly, I think that if they stay in this spot and they had to pick here, that's probably who's going to fall and who they end up drafting. But I don't know, man. I don't think they end up staying there. Yeah, I'll go Justin Jefferson. That's fine.
Philly,
all right. 21. I don't like it, though. I mean, he might end up being a really good player, and in that case, I will. But I don't know.
Three straight LSU players drafted.
Yeah.
All right. Jefferson and Queen are off the board. Swift's off the board. Thomas. All right. So now we get to the Minnesota Vikings, who got this pick from trading Stephon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills. I think you gotta try to find Diggs' replacement. I think they're definitely gonna use one of these 2 first-round picks on a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'll be this pick exactly, but there's one on the board right now, and that's T. Higgins.
Okay. I like that.
He's not quite the same player Diggs is, not even close, really, but, he's the best guy available. Okay. And it gives you a big body on the outside.
Okay. All right. So, this is tough because it's really – I never really know what the Patriots are going to do. They really could use a lot of shit. I think if a QB is available here, they'll take it. But ultimately, I think that they just need, probably some more things on. I think that there's a chance they go receiver here and go for a player like maybe Denzel Mims or something like that. But ultimately, I'm just going to go AJ Epenza from Iowa. I think can never use too many pass rushers. I think that he could be a nice anchor on one side of the line for them. So I'll just go AJ Epenza. But I don't feel good about that pick. Honestly,
he strikes me as a Belichick guy.
Yeah, agreed.
And he's versatile. He can play anywhere.
Exactly.
Exactly. So New Orleans Saints.
It's tough.
I'm gonna go. There's not a corner that could use another corner. Not really one to take. I don't think they're gonna take a wide receiver here after just signing Emmanuel Sanders. I could see offensive line help, but I'm gonna go with Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma.
Oof, that's honestly who I would have picked there. I think that's one of their only few holes. They really don't have that many holes, so agreed. So this is actually kind of an easy pick for me at 25. I really think they're just going to try to replace Stephon Diggs and grab Denzel Mims. I think they're very similar players, actually.
I just said that they draft T. Higgins at 22.
Oh, no. Okay.
Just making sure we got that.
Thank you for doing, because I haven't had it written down. I'm sorry. All right, so I think that I think they're going to take Fulton, the cornerback, to try to replace Trey Waynes.
Interesting.
I definitely do, because I forgot about that. But I do think that there is a chance if they don't pick one at 22. I think there's a pretty good chance they do get a wide receiver at some point in the first round.
All right, so now we're with the Dolphins again for their third pick.
Sheesh.
I don't know. They could easily take an offensive tackle. I feel like they should address offensive tackle or edge rusher with either of their third or 3 picks in the first round. But I'm going to say the pick's going to be Yetur Gross-Matos.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I
think that's a
good pick. Don't
pick.
reach with these picks. Just get the best player available if you're Miami. Unless, a quarterback. You got to take a quarterback, obviously.
Absolutely. Agreed. All right. Let me see here. So I definitely think that the Seahawks kind of have a luxury pick here because I wouldn't say they have like a bunch of like holes.
I think they do.
So,
that's me.
I think that I'll just go Ross Blacklock, the defensive tackle from TCU. I think they're just going to try to shore up the middle of the team and just be one of those, run first teams that stops the run and try to beat you that way. Because, like I said, I wouldn't say they have a lot of holes, but they also don't have like a super talented roster as well. So, yeah, that'll be my pick there.
I could see that. Seattle loves to neglect the offensive line.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Seattle's just one of those teams, they try to be like the Patriots and think outside the box, and I think it's really bit them in the ass like the last 5 years.
I don't think it works out for them too well a lot of the time, to be honest with you.
So now we're at Baltimore. But they could use an edge rusher or a linebacker, and kind of all of them are off the board at this point. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. They lost Marshall Yanda in the offseason to retirement. I think that they find his replacement in the first round. Best player, one of the better players available. I shouldn't say best player available. Cesar Ruiz out of Michigan. Interior offensive lineman.
Okay. I was wondering when some interior offensive linemen were going to come off the board here, so that makes sense. This is really tough, man. Their defense is pretty good. I think didn't they just lose Jarrell Casey?
Yeah.
So I think, D-tackle would go good here, but I just drafted Blacklock. I don't really know who's left as far as that goes, but I'll go with, let's see, I will go with, damn, see, it starts to get hard here at the end. I'm sorry. Hold on. I will go with, I'm going to go Trevon Diggs, cornerback.
I could see them addressing corner because they're likely going to lose. Either they have lost or they're likely going to lose Logan Ryan.
Exactly. So that'll be, that it's just because, here at the end is really throwing some shit at a wall and seeing if it'll stick. So That's my guess there.
So now we're with my Green Bay Packers. And this is where I kind of, like I said at the beginning, where I get into... I do like to talk about what the organization has done in the past, and I've talked about this with you, James.
Mm-hmm.
Two of their biggest areas of need, linebacker and wide receiver, are two positions Green Bay has not put a lot of value on in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't be shocked if they don't address that position at all.
Yeah.
So he's still on the board, and if this happens, I will be over the moon. And they need him now that Brian Bulaga is out of town. And that's Josh Jones out of Houston, offensive tackle.
Ooh, okay. You think they're going to do that?
I think it's more likely.
Ooh, okay.
If all the tackles are off the board, then I can see them going wide receiver or trading back.
I like the unsexy pick from you, man.
I'm all about the unsexy picks, man.
Okay. Same. Honestly, they end up being the best picks.
Tell you what, James. I think they're more likely to take a corner than wide receiver or maybe not a wide receiver, but a linebacker for sure.
Okay, I can see that. All right, so I come back to the Niners. If you remember, I passed up on wide receiver the first time around, but I'm going to swing back around and give them a player that I do think is going to sneak into the first round, and it's going to be Jalen Reagor from TCU.
Interesting. All right.
And I think they'd be very happy with that if they could still get their a nice speed receiver on the field to be opposite of Deebo Samuel and can get somebody to replace as well as they can DeForest Buckner. I think they'd be happy coming out of the first round like that.
I really like Reagor. I don't know if he's a first round pick. But...
I agree because he ended up running a little slower than people thought, but apparently he was a little tweaked. I mean, if he ends up running a 4.4 flat at his pro day, if it didn't get canceled, who knows? He probably squeaks in there.
So here we are at the last pick, and we've said there aren't many corners, but here we are with 1, 2, 3, 4 off the board, and Kansas City needs a corner. I don't think they'll reach though. I don't think they'll reach.
I don't either. They're going to go BPA. When you're this late in the draft, you got to go BPA. They don't have a terrible roster.
They could really use some help on the offensive line. I don't think they will. So best player available right now, and it kind of does fill a need, is Xavier McKinney.
Okay, I like that pick. No, I think they would love to pair him with Honey Badger. I think that'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a pressing need or anything, but I mean, any help you can get in the secondary is huge in today's league.
I was gonna, and I mean, they could pick a defensive player at every position pretty much, and nobody would.
There's just not a linebacker, defensive line. There's just not really. There's no corner to take.
And they're not gonna reach, like you said. So I agree.
So yeah, McKinney, and then offensively, they don't need anything outside of O-line, and all of them are off the board pretty much.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm gonna go McKinney. I think we did an okay job. There's some guys here I wouldn't have in the first round, but
send me that.
I'll say. Oh, I got it saved here.
All right.
I'll post it on our profile, on the Rambling Man profile and stuff. All right. That was fun. I want to do round 2. I don't think we can do it though.
No, honestly, I don't think I've kept up as well enough to do a round 2 right now.
Either.
I will coming up. I mean, I just been so busy trying to work from home and stuff that I haven't been doing my usual 3 hours a day just reading articles and mock drafts and shit. So
I would love it. I just did a 3-round mock draft. Did you ever take a look at that?
Yes, I did. And I had a comment. I forget what it was. I'll take a look at it again. I'll let you know.
All right, my man. I don't have anything else unless you got something pressing to say.
I don't either. That was fun. I love doing mock drafts.
It's mock draft season. I love mock drafts.
Absolutely.
Did I read that the draft's happening still on time?
No, it is. It is. They're just going to do it virtually, I guess. And somebody made a good point.
It's already kind of virtually.
Yeah, they're like you can make a bad pick and nobody's going to be in the place to do it. So it's like
I don't get why they just have like a Skype screen of all the war rooms.
Exactly. Exactly. It's easy.
It's easy.
Easy.
All right, man. Brother. Always good talking to you.
Later.
Later.